Hi, my name is Joyce Smith. I have been teaching in King Cove, Alaska for 13 years. Started out in second grade, moved up to 5, 6, and then 6th, and then now high school. I'm originally from Soldovia, Alaska, and I decided to do my project on semi-subterranean houses, which are the historical form of housing in both areas, although the houses themselves were slightly different because one area is trees and one doesn't. We went to the Heritage Center where we got to actually tour the houses, and that's where I drew a lot of my inspiration from, but I also did some research online to help me figure out exactly how I wanted it to look. And I ended up making this. You can kind of see in there, I printed it upside down so that I didn't have supports all inside it. I definitely recommend that if you're doing an open house, because if not, it's gonna take you a long time to get that all out, and it's gonna be all gnarly in there. And then it's got its little ladder here that I was informed the other day is supposed to go straight down, but it kind of has to prop it at an angle because if not, it falls over. So when I was making it, I color coded it so that it just made it feel a little bit more real to me. As I was building it, I started with only 3 pieces. This whole thing is made out of the same 3 elements duplicated multiple times. So I started with a standard rectangular plank, and you can kind of see them best here. And then also a log. And I literally in the objects file just looked up plank and log. You could do a cylinder and a thin rectangle. Those would work. For the Nungan culture, this is all actually driftwood. So gray might be a better color to color these, or if you want to paint that, which I'm planning to. And then I kept going back and forth, referencing pictures of the exterior of the house and the interior. And so that's how I kind of kept figuring out what I was doing in terms of my plan. And then hopefully, my hope is that middle schoolers, I think this would be a great project for them to look at historical houses for their area, especially since Middle School Alaska Studies does focus on how the environment affects the inhabitants, how they respond to local disasters and environmental threats. Then I feel like for high school, it could be scaled up where they look at how turning to traditional knowledge and ways of doing things could be used to solve modern economic problems. Like, could we use this as inspiration to change insulation, go back to semi-subterranean dwellings and villages? And then also all of that can then be taken down to preschool for them to get an interactive hands-on activity, exploring these if they're buried in, say, a sensory table. So it's a big cycle. The whole project, I think, can be used probably K-12, but I would have older students make the projects and younger students experience the projects. Thank you. I hope that my little house, which I'm really proud of, is an inspiration to you and your students to try something like this in your own communities. I would love for you to drop a comment saying what you've done, maybe even a picture. All right, thank you.